Here we go. Just do some mapping for a second. Oh, let me see. I don't have any other music playing, and this makes it less boring. It starts to get super bad. I'm aware that my computer can't handle streaming and PoE at the same time. But I put it on the lowest visual settings, thinking that maybe, but just maybe, probably not gonna happen though. Some of these new mobs look freakish. That one's a giant teddy bear. That's literally the only thing it is. It's a giant teddy bear on like arm stilts. This is a shaped race course. And I'm just running elemental spectral throw. I'm focusing a lot on lightning damage, which I think most elemental stuff does. Eventually going to try to get a Vinctar, but a lot of Vinctars aren't that expensive, but the added to attacks is for some reason a lot more expensive than all the others. Also, my life pool's super low, especially for, I'm level 86. My life pool should be tons more than that, but I've been trying to get my resistances all, I'm wearing a tabula right now. I've been trying to get my resistances all worked out because I plan on wearing a lightning coil later. The negative 60 resistance on lightning coil was kind of hard to build my resistances around on a budget, so I'll be able to add a lot more life into that later once I have more currency. Dang, this stuff keeps like almost getting me. And like I said, I know I'm super squishy right now, but I usually actually don't die a lot. Because I have Vol Pact, so I leech so much, but like that damage over time I kept taking earlier. This map just has a lot of corrupting blood for some reason, and that's the only, I'm immune to bleeding. So like, corrupting blood is the only thing that I have to worry about, and I've just run into a lot of it this map. Some people might absolutely hate the way I price stuff. Once I get done with this map, I'll show you guys. And I do it a really odd way because, like, I don't like to waste a bunch of time on it. It might mean that I end up selling a bunch of stuff really cheap, or also aware that most of these uniques I've picked up like 3 this map that really aren't worth anything. Since I'm vol packed, I take the unaffected by burning ground, which helps with those guys, because vol packed and burning ground, I wish it did desecrated ground too, because anything you can't leech off, if there are no mobs and you're having to walk around on, whoa, was there a volatile I didn't see? Anyway, walking around on desecrated or burning ground sucks, so I use the burning ground, whatever these things are called, Pantheon. I haven't done any of the divine vessels because I was more worried about shaping my atlas, and there are a few things that I actually sealed off of my atlas that I later realized when I got a divine vessel. Like, I already knew that there were things, but I wasn't really paying attention to it while I was trying to shape my atlas. Oh, I thought I was about to walk back through the door. Wasn't paying attention to it while I was shaping my atlas, so like a lot of them I had done the map, but I sealed the map before I realized that you had to like capture the soul in that map or whatever to do the rest of the Pantheon. But I don't feel like I need, I feel like shaping this stuff was more important, because even when I get low tier drops, even if I run out of my higher tier maps, I get like shaped Phantasmagoria and Jungle Valley and Arid Lake rather than complete garbage. I'm still in the middle of shaping it though. I actually shape it kind of weird. Most people will only shape their higher tier stuff, and I have up to tier 15 shaped. I just don't have up to tier 15 sealed. Because I couldn't afford it, and any currency I get, I've been blowing on corrupting a bunch of Lycosidaes. My shield corrupted a ton of them and ended up with a lot of bricked ones, and sold some back for like 7C, and just had to keep using. I want a corrupted +1 to level of gems because I want to keep my wrath in the +1 linked to an enlighten and empower. I want to eventually get a level 4 enlighten and a level 4 empower, both being bumped up to level 5, which would bump my wrath up to like something ridiculous. If I had a level 21 wrath, it'd bump it up to like level 22 from the thing, and then 4 levels from, so level 26, because a level 5 in power I think only gives 4 levels, so it'd be like a level 26 wrath, which would add a lot of damage. So my main thing about this is I just try not to take too long. I usually go and ID everything, and I throw my rares. I don't even look at them. Literally, that's not rare. I throw them in here. Missed a divination card. Throw them in here. If they don't sell the next day, I move them down to here, here. Not every day. A lot of times, like I think right here, like I sometimes will fill up this stash, and once this stash gets full, I'll move it down to the next. And one exalt, like right now, really isn't worth that much more than 20 chaos. So like I'm moving it down in increments, and here I'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1C, and if it gets down to that 1C tab, I do this a lot quicker when I'm not trying to talk about it, but once it gets down to that 1C tab, if that 1C tab gets full, and I have stuff sitting in the 2C tab, then I'll vendor the 1C tab and move the next stuff over, and I get so many sells for one chaos of stuff that I might not have even I wouldn't have even taken the time to stop and set a, like, my uniques usually individually priced. Like, I'll just do this, and if they're worth, if it says less than a chaos, usually the only reason I didn't sell this, even though it's worth less than a chaos, is because then I would have a bunch of useless support gems because of the recipe. So I always try to throw those in there for an alteration or something, but even though it's probably just going to sit there forever. But if I vendored it, then I would have to try to vendor a bunch of gems too. See, this is 2 jewelers. I'm probably just going to vendor all these uniques. Yeah, I'll just vendor all of these. So my shaped maps I throw in here, and I still do get every once in a while, because my atlas isn't completely everything's not completely sealed on it besides the shape stuff, so like I still get like I get a lot of these are left over from when I first was mapping, but I still get underground sea drops because I don't have my high tier stuff sealed. I still get ports, I think colonnades and ports I still get, and I don't think cells. I think I get reef maps, but I list them all for 2 chisel, so all the reef maps sell immediately because people like reef, or because you have to get the shaper's orb from it. So and I know that's probably because it's a little cheaper than most people or something, but I don't care. I just throw all my yellow maps in here, and any white maps I get I throw in here, and then any of the shaped maps that I enjoy running I throw in here, because I like very specific maps. I run Jungle Valley if it's this tier. I run the next ones, Jungle Valley to Beach. My phone's going off. I run Jungle Valley, shaped Jungle Valley, shaped Beach, up to shaped Arid Lake. I only have 1 map of each tier shaped. Then I run shaped Phantasmagoria. Don't have any shaped mesas. I had one, and yesterday I put it in my map device and activated it, and then logged off and completely forgot, to run the map. So I kind of wasted my shaped mesa. But then I run shaped racecourse. I prefer racecourse over strand, because even strand, they nerfed the pack size advantage that strand had, and also strand had the weird little divots and stuff every once in a while that wouldn't be a straight line, and that's why everybody loved strand, is because it was good pack size and pretty much a straight line. Racecourse is always exactly the same. It's a circle, and then a circle, and then a circle, and if you do the boss fight in the middle, like do half of the bottom circle, then half of the top circle, and then the boss fight, and then the half of this circle, and then the other half of the bottom circle, you never backtrack at all. I like racecourse more. It's so straightforward. There's like, if you don't know how to run the map, then you could run the whole bottom circle and have to run through already cleared area again, and backtrack for half the map. But if you know what you're doing, Race Course I feel like is actually better. You can run it faster than Strand. And I like that there are 3 bosses in Race Course. The 3 bosses I feel like is a bonus. I don't have all of my, so I actually had a bunch of the T15 and I ran it on repeat. My tier 15 shaped map, I have Underground River shaped. It's super straightforward, but I ran all of it and I'm out right now. So the highest I have is Shaped Arachnid Tomb, which is one of my least favorite. That has -12 player resistances. I'll probably die a lot in that. Arachnid Tomb is one of my least favorite that I have shaped, but there wasn't another good map that tier to have in the spot. So an Arachnid Tomb isn't bad. It's pretty straightforward. It's just not as linear as the other ones that I have shaped. I act like it's bad because it's bad compared to Race Course and Underground River, I think. But I mean, it's a really nice map. I shouldn't complain. It's pretty simple and straightforward. It's just I hate backtracking. Even there are just places on Arachnid Tomb where you have to like go clear both sides and then come back to the middle to keep progressing through the map, and I hate not being able to just run in a straight line the entire time. I'm going pretty much straight evasion, and I have, that's not my tree. I'm going pretty much straight evasion. I'm going Vol Pact and acrobatics and phase acrobatics. The only gear I have that's not evasion are these, and it's because I needed 4 blue, and I didn't have a billion chromatic orbs to try to get a full evasion, some full evasion gloves into 4 blues, so I just used all energy shield. Also, gloves don't give you a ton of, no matter what stat you're looking for, you don't get a ton of it from gloves anyway. Mostly what I was looking for on my gloves was like added lightning to attacks and attack speed and stuff like that anyway. So I wasn't getting like percent increased evasion, and because I needed a life roll on it as well. So, you know, I wouldn't have had tons of evasion coming from my gloves anyway. So having energy shield gloves wasn't a big deal to me. Because the Herald of Thunder is how that's the only way I curse anything, except bosses. I'll lay down my, whatever this is called. I'll lay down my Orb of Storms against bosses, but I never use it when I'm clearing packs. I just shock enemies, and it makes my Herald of Thunder kill. I mean, it makes my Herald of Thunder hit stuff with conductivity. So if you see stuff cursed, it's all from my Herald of Thunder. The little copy of myself that you keep seeing pop up is just from like Word of Mirrors, or I don't know, Edict of Mirrors. It's an enchantment, a glove enchant from Labyrinth. on this build, I use claws because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people might hate that decision, but or think I'm like a total scrub lord, which I am. Super scrub lord, but the claw decision I think was actually a pretty good one. I respect all my mana leech nodes just for a Gemini claw, which I bought this for like 2 chaos because nobody uses claws, and it has a tier 2 added lightning roll, tier 2 attack speed roll, tier 2 crit roll, and I crafted crit multiplier on it. And it gives me mana on hit. So I have no mana leech, or I might actually have the 1 node. Nope, not even the 1. So I usually get that 1 at the bottom because it gives life and mana leech, so it's a pretty good node. Right there in between the 2 wheels, or in the middle of the 1 wheel that has life leech and mana leech. Life leech on the right side and mana leech on the left side. Usually I get the bottom middle node, but when I first started this build, I actually had to get the almost the whole left side because I just needed mana. Switched over to this claw that gives flat mana on hit, and I get 0 mana nodes, and so I got to put those nodes into something else. Also, the dagger nodes, so the only other thing I would use is daggers instead of this claw. I would have been using daggers or maybe swords, but when I was looking at the nodes, a lot of them were like fizz damage or damage with elements, which neither of those things helps me. Like, those things don't help me because damage with elements, I don't really rely on ignites, and that's the only real damage from element, because my shock just gives a multiplier to damage, so the element isn't doing damage. That would only really help with poison or bleed or ignites. But so the shock doesn't help that much, and the claw had really good leech nodes. Like I said, the fizz damage doesn't help, but the other ones I was looking at, like dagger, this is dagger, so it was farther away, gave the only thing that's useful is 20% crit chance, and then crit chance and crit multi, crit chance and crit multi. Then this is poison and crit multiplier. So the poison's useless, so it's just crit multi. This gives me crit chance and crit multi, crit chance and crit multi, crit chance and crit multiplier, and then leech, life leech, mana leech, increased leech, and the physical damage is kind of useless to me, but it's a lot better, especially these crit nodes and stuff are a lot better for me and a lot closer than these dagger nodes. And the sword nodes were kind of the same way. They the crit chance was good, but I don't know, the claw thing, I get 14 mana gained on hit and don't have to waste a bunch of stuff on mana after that. This boss is kind of weird. It should be easy at this point. I'm over leveled for this map. This is a 76 map and I'm 86, but this boss still is, with the curses and stuff, is rippy sometimes, so I'm gonna switch out from a single target. That was super laggy. So I keep Spectral Throw, Greater Multiple Projectile. Oh, it's down here. Faster attacks, lightning penetration, added lightning damage, elemental damage with attacks, and then greater multiple projectiles. And on bosses, I swap out slower projectiles for greater multiple projectiles. This might even be more damage than faster attacks in my main setup, but the slower projectiles gives you so much less range that I don't think it's worth it. Except for on bosses when you don't have to worry about it going way out and clearing, you know, the pack size. This is also, I knew this was really cheap anyway, but I'll probably just fender it. I check anyway because prices have been weird on some stuff this league that I didn't think were going to be worth a lot, and then for some reason they were worth a lot more this league, like stuff that got buffed or changes made those things better. Drop these in my fragments. Might actually go ahead and run the Mesa. Oh, not that. Nice. I usually only pick up rare jewels. That's the reef I was talking about. I still get reef drops. I think I still have something attached to it that, but I don't mind getting the reef drops. Since it drops the Shaper Orb, people buy reef from me all the time. I love Mesa. I feel like everybody gets the general idea of Mesa. It's like I was talking about in Race Course, but I think it's just more common, so people realize that there's some way to clear it without the backtracking. But it's the same as Race Course. You just like do the outer circle. And if you go to the inner circle, and I guess it's a little more obvious in here than it is in Race Course because the entrance to the higher circle is always right by where you enter, so you can clear the whole bottom loop before you ever go up to the top. but people hate on my race course. I'll literally post in Global 820 to like let people come like run race courses with me, which it seems like, oh, that's a really good deal for me because I get extra, you know, better drops and stuff. But that would be a good deal if like everybody was kind of chipping in on chisels and the price to like upgrade the maps and stuff. But when I have like 6 people in the map, I'll add Beyond or add Beyond or either add Bloodlines if it doesn't have good pack size or whatever. So like I'm paying 3 chaos for adding Bloodlines. I'm providing the map, I'm chiseling the map, and like I keep permanent allocation on because I just want all the extra XP, and I'll get any extra map drops. But what's that? Garbage. Complete garbage. Katarina. So Verici used to be, but Katarina has slowly become my least favorite master, because Katarina, like if you're running race course, like you might get back to where I don't have, something's trying to destroy me. I don't know, whatever. I don't have an alk on me. I mean, that one might not have been worth an alk anyway, but I don't know, Katarina I feel like makes me backtrack the most always to find all her little... My favorite are the infested den missions for Torah. Those, it literally gives you like extra XP and items from like this giant magic pack type thing, and then that one wasn't that bad. But when you're running like Strand and you're almost done with the map and see Katarina and have to go back to the very first thing in the map, it's pretty annoying. I can't stand it. Oh, there's my colonnade drop. I don't really care for anything that's not shape. Because, I mean, sometimes I'll get like volcano drops and stuff since I Overgrown Ruins and Volcano. I like getting like volcano drops and sometimes High Gardens. Just because like this is the one I run and I get to do 2 sextants on it, and this one only costs a journeyman's. And I mean, I could do like port but I'd rather just try to make only these drop. I think port drops maybe because I've run reef maps or something. I mean, I could probably just run reefs right now because I haven't sealed it yet. But like I feel like maybe it was, yeah, this I sealed this map. I actually had it completed and sealed it. And I could have gotten I have a divine vessel in my stash, but I was probably just gonna sell it because, I mean, I don't really care that much about having my, I don't think these are worth anything. I think like an alteration at the most. Probably just get vendored. My computer's being super slow though, because my computer cannot handle streaming and PoE at the same time. I'm surprised it's doing this well. 4 alts. Yeah, still getting vendored. When I see bases like that, I probably could go ahead and throw them in a lower. I mean, because like, what am I even talking about? This? That's nothing anyway. That's probably not even going to sell for a chaos. But it's easier just to throw everything in there. But the increased stun duration, I mean, there's like one build that's good for. So I mean, I probably could like vendor that one now, but so much easier to never even look, to just throw the stuff and it's where it goes. And probably just gonna run this reef map just since so hard for me to think about playing the game and talking at the same time. Probably just gonna run it since I do, like I said, I do have it down here. I already have it completed and not sealed yet, so I'll just run it. I want to get a weapon with added fire and cold because of maps with elemental equilibrium. Elemental equilibrium makes me do a ton less damage because I hit them with lightning, and after I hit them with lightning, they're, you know, take a lot less lightning damage. And right now, it's not quite as bad because I have a ring that adds cold damage as well. So the cold damage, like, makes it where, like, I'm getting a little bit off of the lightning damage once it, but still they have extra lightning resistance. If it had added cold and fire, then I would get resistance to those, but it would make it where it doesn't. Basically, if you have all three, them being hit by lightning gives them 50% extra lightning resistance, but they're hit by fire, which reduces their lightning res by 25, and they're hit by cold, which reduces their lightning res by 25. So it evens out if you have all three. And I have added cold, but I don't have added fire anywhere, I don't think. So elemental equilibrium still gives them another 25%. And I love breaches. I mean, I don't like what they do to my FPS on my computer because they absolutely destroy my FPS, but they're super good for XP and items and all those things. The reason I just had a ton of wraths all level up is because I have 6 in my offhand because I want a level 21 wrath, so I'm gonna corrupt a bunch of those. Try to get one level 21. I don't. Pretty sure that wrath quality just gives. I'm almost positive that all it gives is increased area of the aura. I'll look before I start corrupting them, but I don't think I'm going to level them twice. I'm just going to level them all to 20 and then corrupt all of them. I played Bladefall Totems last league, and got my blade fall, I had a blade fall in my main skill setup and had one blade fall in my offhand. And the blade fall that I had in my offhand, or one of them reached level 20, and I corrupted it and it got level 21. Like, and I only corrupted that one. And since I corrupted that one and it got level 21, the one in my offhand that hit level 20, I did the recipe with it to get it level 1 20 quality. And then when this was a horrible idea for me to do, but it ended up, like, I just got super lucky last league with this. I got it back, leveled up to level 20 quality, vaulted it, and hit 20 quality level 21. Like, did both of them first try. So that was pretty, it was just pretty fortunate that I didn't completely screw myself over. Okay, so does he make the treasure box disappear because I killed him insanely slow? Or did I just not drop anything? I feel like maybe he makes the treasure box disappear. I don't run Reef a lot because I run my shape maps. Usually don't have to run any other maps. I didn't have to right now, but this is probably one of the, I don't want to say worst. I mean, it's not as overpowered as most of the builds that I've played lately. It's more expensive to gear. Like, even without the lightning coil, you have to get added lightning on everything to have like an adequate amount of damage. Like, I have added lightning on like every piece of gear, and I'm like not one-hitting stuff, and I mean, I have good rolls of lightning on every piece of gear. I've pretty good lightning rolls on everything, but and I've seen some like poison versions, which would probably be better for the boss killing and stuff, because that's the only thing this one like is really slow at, is the bosses. When I swap in slower projectiles, it's not unbearable, but it's just, I could have played some spell that I didn't have to get extra damage from any gear for it, and would do more damage to bosses, you know, than having to get added lightning on every piece of gear and still just feel like my damage is like alright. Makes it, I don't know, seem like it's not as worth it. But having said that, it's one of the most fun builds I've played. If I did Elemental Spectral Throw again, I would go two-handed because the damage seems like it would be a lot better, but Lycosidé on your offhand makes you never miss. I'm honestly not sure if the damage would even be a lot different. But it makes me feel better to think that maybe two-handed would have better damage, because I don't know, you can get higher lightning rolls and stuff on and I thought about even dual wielding, but I got a super good deal on this claw, and if I wanted another one as good as it, which it would have to be as good as this one to be a damage increase, otherwise I would be cutting my damage, because if I apply, or if I equip an offhand, I get rid of Lycosidé, which gives me, you know, probably never missing probably is like a 20% damage bonus, especially against like big rares that have like evasive and stuff. So Lycosidé probably is my best bet if I'm not going to be running a two-handed weapon. Keep getting a bunch of random emails that no, I didn't. I thought I picked up some garbage unique. I'm pretty soon probably gonna have to, oh, not that goes there. This I like, but I'm actually waiting to use it once I have my lightning coil on, and okay, so I want to have lightning coil, and I want to have enough currency to completely even out my resistances. I feel like it'll be pretty easy to even out my resistances. They're pretty close already, and like I can unequip this ring and still have all over 75 resistances, but I need the strength that it gives, and I don't think I still have 75 with this, but I'm pretty close. And this one doesn't give enough strength that it screws me over. Even without it, I have 160, and I think the max requirement, no, keep. I think the maximum requirement of strength for, it's mainly this, Ancestral Protector. So it's getting +2 levels from this item because it has +2 of socket and melee gems. Which I probably won't always have that, but since I had it, it was just kind of an extra on this that I got the extra levels on my protector. Eventually though, I don't want to have that. I want to be able to have enough strength to get it to level 21, just in case though. I eventually do want to try to completely get this build optimized before I trash it. I'm already like pretty good on all my links. This is an insane amount of resistances on these boots. I almost, like the day I got these, ran lab and almost enchanted them over the fire and cold roast. Like I was like holding the skull thing and hovering it over the boots, but I was like, gloves or boots, and like hovering over the boots because I already had Edict of Reflection or something, and I was doing like Merc Lab, helping somebody run through it, so I couldn't do the helmet enchant. If it maybe Cruel Lab, I don't know, but I almost screwed myself over on that because I think I paid a decent amount for this. This is where I put all my quality flasks, and this is where I put all of my quality gems. I just sold all my gems. I put my Vol ones over here to sell for a Vol Lord if I get a bunch of them. That recipe's not really, but I also list these for 1 chaos, so like if somebody wants an 8% level 1 flammability, they can give me a chaos for it. I'm not opposed to that. I feel like I'm mapping super slow today with the whole like trying to talk thing. With some of these. Pack size 10, pack size 12. Oh, Beyond. Race course, Beyond. Oh, we're doing that one first and we're adding Beyond to it. If I'm adding stuff to maps, if I have the currency to add mods to maps, I add Bloodlines. But if I already have Beyond, if I get like 40% pack size, I'm going to use Beyond. If I already have a Beyond mod, I use Beyond. And if I have Sea Witches and some pack size, I'll do Beyond. Otherwise, I do Bloodlines. Because I feel like on race course, since it's not a big open, since it's linear, unless you have a lot of extra pack size, you don't get tons of Beyond stuff. Sometimes Beyond stuff can be scary, especially when it's like mixed with Harbingers and everything, but the main reason is because it destroys my computer. I think otherwise that the instant leech really makes it not as huge of a deal, but the not being able to see right now can make it pretty difficult. That's a big crab thing. But double Beyond just makes the Beyond stuff spawn so much more. And like Beyond stuff can spawn more Beyond stuff. That's pretty cool. You'll see a lot of bosses. I think there was a boss earlier. I think it was just one of the weaker ones that died pretty quickly. It's hard to tell because my FPS was like, hey bro, you're at 0. I'm gonna hang out down here at 5 FPS if that's cool with you. Which wasn't really cool with me, but it didn't really care. It was mainly asking to be a jerk. Didn't actually want to take my feelings into consideration. I don't know. Some builds I've played, Beyond was one of the scariest mods. And I mean, the bosses are still like scary sometimes, but I don't know, it's a weird, like, there are a bunch of them, and having instant leech makes it where, like, the more monsters there are, the more you're leeching. So, I mean, it feels pretty nice with the instant leech, but the main thing is the only having 4,000 health. Oh, who's that? I should have dropped a portal when I got to the... wasting a bunch of time. I used to drop a lot more portals, like, if I... Oh, wife's calling me. Just gonna have to die. Hey. I haven't, taken our rent. Will she be okay if I do that, like, this afternoon? Okay. I also haven't, like, showered or anything. Okay. Why didn't they call me? Okay. I'll call them. Okay. Bye. So, how's my wife? I hate losing XP, stupid stuff like that, but I just got a call to go substitute teach today. So I won't be on much longer. It was my wife telling me that her school needed me to substitute teach today. I mean, I substitute there regularly. I don't know why they called her and not, or told her and didn't just call me. Usually they call me. And it's irritating getting calls like at 9 o'clock instead of the night before or something, but what can you do? Yay, nothing. I got a Duotos. That's not worth a ton, but I keep gripped gloves just to if I feel like crafting them later. Grip gloves are, they give extra projectile damage. They would be good for like my oh dang, I can't pick that up. They'd be good for this build with the extra projectile damage. probably would be better than... It's not worth it here. I mean, I know these are worth like maybe an elk. But this I can just vendor. I'm not worried. Most of the money, I think, comes from rings and amulets. But you can have, you know, 1,000 rings and amulets in your stash for sale, and, you know, you can have 1/6 of that in body armors. Is it Bombeth that uses Vol Detonate Dead? I feel like that's what killed me earlier, of Vol Detonate Dead or something. Map returns. At that rate though, like getting one back after I used Beyond on the map is like... feels negative because... like the cost of the map and beyonding the map, like if I didn't get 2 back, then I feel like it was, you know, slightly negative. Stop it. Stop barraging me with your icy barrage. That's poo-poo. If there are stairs there, then, like, so, like, I had forgotten, I wouldn't be able to remember if I'd already gone downstairs if there were stairs at both times, but there aren't here. Like, once you get back around to here, that's just where your first portal was. So, like, if you're looking at your map and you get back to the last place in this room, if there are stairs there, you always take them, because if it's where you finish the map, then there are no stairs. It's just where the portal was at first. See, I'd already forgotten that I was going through that portal. Unable to connect to achievement server. I used to like pick up, well, I'll put these in the same. I need to just always go to my currency thing first, because it annoys me when all the currency thing is in the way. Like, I hate looking through currency to here's my crafting stuff. When I'm running with like big parties and don't want anybody to have to wait on me, I put this tab over in the very front. Like when I'm running with big group, like 6, we'll go, you know, map to map to map. So I'll literally come back and throw everything in my 4x4 tab, but I try not to let anything sit there too long. I'll always, you know, I'll always have that, as soon as I get done with that group, I'll sort it all and, you know, get it in these tabs, because I don't have this listed or anything. Like, I don't have anything priced in my sort tab. I don't even think I have it public. I do have it public, but I only do that when I'm in groups. Otherwise, I feel like it's easier to come back and throw the currency in here, the essences and divination cards in here, any rares, like any rares at all, I throw in here. And like stuff that's weird like this, I don't know, sometimes I'll price other stuff individually, but like this, I don't know why this is in here and not, but I put my own maps in here, and I try to keep stuff like this, like I keep in here and this, but these are just for sale. I don't know why I don't have them in this tab. That's what this tab is for stuff like this, and like +1 to Saga to Gem, like, I don't know, random stuff that is priced differently than what it would say, I guess, on I don't know, priced differently than what it might seem like it's worth or something. I don't know. Or stuff that needs to have a fixed price. Like if I threw that divine vessel in my 1 chaos tab, I don't know, it might be worth that now. When I priced it the other day, they were worth like 4 chaos. But I usually try to price stuff like this, so it's worth 2 chaos now. The other day when I checked it, they were like 4 chaos, but that was earlier in the league. But I just throw everything. Yeah. About to get off, so I'm just rambling because I don't want to go deal with yelling kids, but I like kids. That school's crazy though. So I'm gonna get off, but nice talking to you guys, and it was fun mapping. I'll be streaming a lot more. I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll be streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the mornings, anytime I'm not called to substitute. Anytime I'm not called to substitute teach. So I'll be looking forward to it.